All right, all right. It looks like we are live. Hey, everybody, it's JJ Conway. I am coming to you live from TMEA in San Antonio, Texas. I hope the background noise is not too loud. We are going to do slides today just because to protect the vision of the people in the background. And so mainly my family. but today we're going to talk about how to make your first $1,000 writing a book. Now, if you're listening to me as part of the Ladies of Wealth podcast, I want to invite you to come join us Thursday nights when we go live. If you are watching me Thursday night live, I want to invite you to come back another time because we don't make a habit of teaching with just slides. Usually you get to see my smiling, laughing, slightly graying face. And, and we're very happy that you're here, but today is a special situation and I didn't want to delay bringing you this content. So today we're going to talk about how to make your first 1,000 writing a book. And if you like this content that we're doing tonight, I want to encourage you to join us on February the 21st at 1 o'clock Central Time. We're going to do my longest running webinar that I still do, workshop course, I'm not sure what to call it, but hands-on session called Finally Write That Book. You can sign up today at jjclink.com/finally. Now, I will tell you the seats are very limited on this because what we actually do in this seminar is I sit down with you and help you structure your book. If you have an idea, we turn it into an outline. If you have an outline, we flesh out and we look at the structure. If you already have something written, we work on a chapter to make sure it's tight and right. And then we walk you through the next steps as far as publishing and all those kinds of things. And so we keep it a very small group and we group people into categories based on where they're at with their book so that we kind of progress along the route. And by the time you're done, you're going to have an action plan for taking your book to market, or if you're not ready to take a book to market, at least having a finalized chapter that you can take to market or an action plan to get you there, whether you're in one of my anthologies or somebody else's. And so that's the Finally Write Your Book workshop. That will be February the 24th at 1 o'clock Central. It's a 2-hour workshop. It will be recorded. If you can't make it, you can send me your manuscript or your outline or your idea, and we'll flesh it out. And you can register for that at jjclink.com/finally. So today we're going to talk about how to make your first $1,000 writing a book. And we're going to talk first about what not to do, how royalties work, press kits, interviews, book signings, and maximizing an anthology, because many of us get our start in anthologies. And me, even though I've published a number of books on my own cover to cover, I still participate in anthologies for reasons that I'll discuss later, and other great ideas that you can use for making money with writing your book, okay? Now, here's what we're not going to cover. I'm not covering in this session tonight book structure and templates, how to actually lay your book out and physically publish it, either through a publishing house or through a self-publisher or through a hybrid. Okay, we're not covering that in this class tonight. We will cover that in the Finally Write Your Book, okay? However, I'm going to let you know up front, the information I got on all these things, I got from Greg and Julie Gorman's publishing class, okay? Because I had published a number of books and I did them all the wrong way. And although one of them still makes me good profit, it was nothing compared to learning how to actually structure my book for sales the right way from the start. So we're not going to talk about those things in this class. We're not going to talk about becoming a bestseller or how to hook a traditional publisher, okay? We're going to talk about how to profit once you've either written a book or written a chapter in somebody else's book. And we will talk a little bit about those, but we're not going to go through this detail. Okay. All right. I am going to start off with telling you things please don't do. I have made all of these mistakes thinking I was awesome and cool and unique and special. And no, I was not a special snowflake. These things don't work. Okay. Don't design your own cover. Okay. Don't use novelty typefaces. So like when PowerPoint first came out, we all used the papyrus and thought it was so cool because it looked like ancient Egypt, right? Don't use anything novelty. You want to make sure that the publisher is going to, you want to make sure your book comes out the way you want it to. All right. You don't want to reuse an ISBN. Every time you get a new edition or you make edits, you want to get a new one because that's going to help things be clearer when people buy your book. Okay. And you don't want to assume that just because something looks good on the page Just because something looks good on your computer, that it's going to look good on your page. You really, if you have a lot of images, if you have a lot of inline outlines, if you have a lot of creative layouts and strategies, you want to make sure that you are getting a proof copy of your book. Okay. And to that, I will also say, don't do your own editing. Okay. There's one more thing I'm going to tell you not to do here in a second. I just want to check and see how everything are going. You don't want to do your own editing. You don't want to do like I do, which is, oh, I'm really good at writing, so I'm just going to edit it myself as I go. If you are going to do your first round of editing, or if your budget's really, really tight, you definitely want to let it age, and then you want to read that thing out loud as if you were reading it for the first time. Because what happens to a lot of us is we mentally think we read something that we meant to write, but we didn't actually write it. So don't do your editing. And last but not least, please, 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 in your desire to publish a book, do not let a vanity publisher talk you into buying all these copies of your book with these visions that you're going to sell out in just a week so you can be a best-selling author. You would be shocked at how many authors come to my book class on how to write that book and how to publish from the book, or how to profit from the book. And they have a garage full of boxes and boxes and boxes of books that they didn't sell. Now, that can help you get on the bestseller list temporarily because you got $10,000 worth of sales at one time, okay? But at the same time, you're going to have a long, hard road trying to sell all those copies if you don't follow the strategies that I'm talking about tonight, okay? Excuse me. I should have looked up how to say his name. I think it's Dearkins. He said, all it takes to publish a book is money. And then he also said, anybody with a computer can publish a book. It's easy. It's also much easier to do it wrong. Don't I know that? Oh my goodness. I have done that so many times. I have, you can go out to Amazon. You can publish your book for free. You can put together any old gibberish and put it out there. And if you pay people, or if you get in a writer's group, you can get people to sing your praises and give you 5 stars, and it's all fake, and you can make money, but it's all fake. And we don't do fake things around here. Okay. We may not always do everything completely. If it's not profitable, we cut bait and move on. We serve the people who were with us, and then we don't take new people, but we don't want to publish gibberish. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit about that some more later, but writing the book is not the thing. The thing is making money from the book. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about how royalties work, because everybody gets all excited about, oh, I'm going to get royalties. I'm going to get royalties. I'm going to be rich for life because every month I'm going to get checks of royalties. And I hate to break it to you, but royalties are pretty small usually. And what a royalty really is, it's your little tiny piece of profit for every book that's sold. Okay. So let's say you publish a book on Amazon. You self-publish a book on Amazon. When you go to price out that book, you're going to find out you don't make very much on the books. In order for you to make a ton on the books, you've got to A, market pretty high, and B, you got to get a lot of people to buy it. And that's the tough part. I have a book out there on Amazon. I get a check from Amazon every month. Sometimes that check is $50, $60. Sometimes that check is not really a check. It's like a deposit. Sometimes it's not even a deposit because it's so small it doesn't meet the threshold. It might be 25 cents. Okay. So you don't want to count on that until you've established yourself as an author and you know how to market yourself. Again, writing the book is not the hard part. Selling the book is the hard part. Okay. Royalties are pretty small, and they vary by publisher and type. I was really disheartened when I did a book for my son. My son did a book. I made him do it as kind of a punishment, but it actually turned out pretty good. So we published it, and we sold it as a fundraiser for Final Salute as part of my Ms. Veteran America finals. You had to raise money as part of your finals, and it was really cool. I was so excited. We sold this book for like $35, and you know how much we got from it? $7 for each book. Okay. And that was a lot. Okay. That was a lot. So you want to be aware of that. Okay. A lot of times what people get excited about is they get excited about advances. Oh, I'm going to go through a traditional publisher. They're going to give me an advance and I'm going to be super wealthy. Well, the thing is if they're giving you an advance, it's because they think they're going to sell enough to get their money back quickly. Okay. So what an advance is when they pay you some money up front. because what they pay you a little bit of part of what they think they're going to make off of you. So, I got the example here on the slide. And if you're just listening to me on the podcast, I've got a slide that shows a $5,000 advance with the profit of $125 a book means you got to sell $4,000 books before you even earn anything else with that book. Okay. They paid you $5,000 as an advance. They're saying, yeah, we're going to get that money back quick. Okay. And so if your profit, if your royalty on that book is 125, it's going to take you 4,000 copies to equal $5,000. And only after that are they going to pay you any more money. Okay. And so, to get these kind of advances from a publishing house, you pretty much need to have already sold books or have a super large platform. Okay. All right. Now, speaking of platform, we talk about how to have your platform. We talk about what the platform means to a publisher and how you can quickly communicate why you have the value that they want to publish your book. They may want to pay you in advance. Okay. We're going to be covering all of that in the Finally Write That Book workshop, February the 24th at 1:00 Central Time. You can book that at jjclink.com/finally. All right. Let's see. Okay. When you publish your book or as you're going through the book process, I wouldn't do it when you first have an idea. I'd honestly get through your outline and your first initial writing and kind of make sure you're actually going to finish the book. And, I kind of wish right now that I could actually show you me, because this is where I would look at you with all the heart in my eyes and tell you, don't make the mistake that I made, which was I am the queen of, oh my goodness, this is going to be amazing. And I get people hyped up and get all excited. And oh my goodness, we're going to do this thing. And I start telling everybody about it. And then boom, I never finish. Not cool. Not cool. So if you are the kind of person that when you start something, you finish it, then maybe you can get away with this. But for the rest of us, I would recommend that you kind of wait to develop your press kit. You want to buy your name as soon as you kind of think of a name for a title. You want to buy that website name, but then you want to wait on doing the other stuff. Okay. So you're going to want your one sheet. That's a 1-page paper that talks about the book, the theme, the platform that you have, and who you are. You might even want to make book cards, which are like business cards. And of course, you're going to want some ad copy. And with ChatGPT and other AIs, it's really easy to come up with ad copy these days. But you still want to just have something, and it's going to refine as the book gets edited and published. But you want to have something to get excitement generated, and then actually be able to get some pre-orders. Okay. Let me just check on something really quick. Let me just check on something. Okay, sorry, y'all. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't holding anybody up, okay? So when it comes to interviews, there's lots of ways to get interviews. I've listed a couple on the slide. For those of you who are watching for those of you who are listening on the Ladies of Wealth podcast, my slides loads radio, TV interviews, podcasts, and you can also create your own interviews, okay? I will interview people. You can book time with me and I will interview you about your book. Okay. If you give me a copy of your script beforehand, I'll even read it and highlight some things. Or, if it's an electronic copy, I'll make some notes and be able to ask intelligent questions about it. You can get on I'm going to tell you right now, I've been on the radio and on the TV for free. All you have to do is find the contacts that are receptive and then give them something that they can nug on, something that's going to make them look good when they bring you on air. And then you have to be available and ready. Whenever they call you, you have to be available and ready. I can mess up sometimes because I have opportunities, but I don't answer my phone. You don't want to be the person that don't answer your phone. Okay. Podcasts, there's places out there to get on podcasts, and you should not be paying. If you're not an established person, a guest on podcasts, things like that, you should not be paying yet. There are groups out there called Find a Guest, Be a Guest that are free. There are others that are called Find a Guest, Be a Guest that charge you, but those aren't the ones you want. Now, once you get up a higher level and you're ready to get on higher tier podcasts, well, then you're going to probably need to pay for some of that. And if you are somebody that has clout, you might be able to get some of those to have you on, and maybe they'll pay you. I don't know. But I'm not there at that level yet. So, I can't speak to that yet. Okay. When I say create your own interviews, you can get people out there to interview you. There are people who will interview you. There's one that I should have talked to him first because I don't know if he does book interviews, but there are people that I know, clients that I've worked with, or people that have helped me with my business, where you basically pay them to interview you. They might have news contacts, they might have a journalism broadcasting background, and they will interview you with the official looking background and everything, and they will give you really good high quality video that you can use to advertise what you're doing. Okay. I have a get interviewed list of places that will interview you for free. If you do or finally write that book, hey, why is that not up here? Hold on. Show headline, show display name. That's strange. Okay, well, sorry, y'all. I don't know why the finally write that. Oh, because I'm not in it. Okay. It's jjclink.com/finally write that book. Anyway, if you can't attend that, where we will give you this for free for joining, but you can also text interview list to 254-454-HOPE. And then when I get done with this conference, I will that link, because I couldn't find it. It's somewhere, but I couldn't find it while I'm here in San Antonio. So there you go. Text interview list to 254-454-HOPE. All right. Now, book signings. This is a great way to sell books, okay? And you can do this whether it's your book or whether you're an anthology with other people. And really, the best thing to do is just ask. You want to already have your books ready to go. You want to have promo items like your one sheet that talk about who you are. You can take your one sheet, you can send it to a place like Staples and FedEx, and for like $10 or so, maybe even a little bit more depending on your market, they'll make it a big foam board poster, and for like another $2 or so, at least where I live, they'll slap an easel on the back of it, a little cardboard easel, and you can stand that up right on a desk. You don't have to spend the $200 on like pop-up banners or stuff. You can get started at very, very low cost. Now, if the more glitz and glamour you can put on it, the better it is. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when I started publishing books, the way that I did book signings is I literally went to trade shows and other places and made my own events. And you can do that. You have your stuff ready. You do some kind of workshop with the people that are there. So it's not just you selling books at your trade show. It's you offering a valuable service. Okay. You make it about the community. And if there's a community aspect, maybe you give some of the profit to a local agency. That's one of the things that I did, especially when we launched the Healing My Sisters anthology. We partner everywhere we did the book signing. We partnered with a local domestic violence support agency, and we would have them come out to the book signing and do a little talk about their agency, and then we would talk about the book, me and whatever authors were available in that town, and then we would roll and sell the book, and everybody would sign it. And I mean, that's a great way to hype up. You can get free advertising that way, advertise to the local channels, get a press release out, and things like that. Okay. One thing I will say is, if you are having trouble finding places to do book signings, be creative. Coffee shops, bookstores, a lot of indie bookstores are great for this. Secondhand bookstores can be great for this too. But make sure you know what their goals are and what their agenda is, so you can match up what you want to do with what they want to do, and they can see that you've gotten on their agenda, do the things they want to do, and help them achieve the goals they have before you ask them to get on your agenda, which is to help you sell them books. All right. Now, I love anthologies. I did have a rude awakening one day when I used to run the Black Queens Natter book club. And like the first 3 people that signed up as authors, they said they were authors and they'd written a book, but it was somebody else's book. And it was really difficult because that's not what we were trying to do. We weren't trying to do anthologies. I mean, people had amazing stories, but we were actually trying to get people who had written full books. And now we had to tighten that down a little bit and get that in there, because as much as anthologies are great, it's not the same as having your name on the front. Okay. And so I love anthologies. What anthologies are is they're a collection of writings from other people. So I might have an anthology. I'll show you a picture of one coming up. I have an anthology coming up. There are like 10 different authors in that anthology. And if you do one of those, it's a great way to get started. because you get training on writing, you get training on editing, you get training on all these different things. You get a professional editor that you might not be able to afford who edits your chapter, and you get to connect with other authors. And the thing about connecting with other authors is it helps you put together events in other towns when y'all work together, okay? And so if you have an anthology, my recommendations are that you market your chapter like it's nobody's business, all right? You market that thing. You take the lead and set up signing events in different towns where fellow authors are, okay? You connect with them, you help them, you guys set things up. One person who was in an anthology that I did, she set up something at her Chamber of Commerce. It was amazing. I couldn't attend in person, but I was able to speak virtually, okay? Get your pre-order page out there if you're able to, and let people take pre-orders so you know how much, how many copies of your own to buy. When it comes to anthologies, okay, don't overbuy, because you don't know how that anthology is going to do or whether people are going to be with you, okay? That didn't come out right. What I mean is there's anthologies I did that totally flopped. I thought they were going to be amazing because the person on the cover was going to be like so influential, and it just wasn't done well. Okay, so you don't want to pre-order, you don't want to order 100 books and then find out that it's hard to sell them because like they did a crummy front cover. You know, you want to test the waters with a pre-order page first. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you one more thing about anthologies. This is one that we have coming up. It's the Juneteenth Voices of Legacy. And as you can see, it's got, then we are stylizing. I'm so excited about this project, y'all. This project's been 2 years in the making. We have been like, we had to postpone, and I'm so excited we're finally bringing it to pass. And you see on the cover here, you've got me and you've got Dr. Jonas Gadsden, okay? All anthologies are not equal. The very first time I paid more than $1,000 to be in an anthology, I was quaking in my boots. But when I got the books had my name and the editor's name. Every one of us who participated in that project, I think we ended up paying like $3,000 for it. And I was just like, I've never paid this much. Never had invested that much into myself before. We each got 20 books with our names on the cover. There are times when I have gone to an event and sold my book and other people were selling their book. And the reason people have verbally told me the reason they bought mine and not the others is because I had my name on the front. And my booth and not the others was because they had my name on the front. Okay. So when you're doing an anthology, make sure you understand why you want to. Because for me, when I do an anthology, it's because when I participate in somebody else's anthology, it's because I want to get connected with a new group of authors. I want to get connected with a new group of potential speakers for my events. Okay. But if you're just trying to get your business started, or you're trying to get your author business off the ground, or you're trying to get, become a known author, you don't just want to participate in anthology after anthology unless they're giving you Amazon. Okay. Or they're doing like I did. I offered a package where you could co-author this book with me. You got to put more stuff into the book. And on Amazon, you get to have the co-author status. You get to have a version of the book that you can sell. My other ladies that are, other men and women that are in the book, they are what's called contributing authors on Amazon, which means you'll be able to click their name and go to their author page. Most anthologies don't offer that. And so, sometimes we think, oh, this is too much. But if you're getting that credibility, then it's worth every penny. All right, let me wrap this up here. Okay, I've got some great ideas here about things that you can create your own. If nobody invites you to their table, build your own. Okay, I have literally created my own book fair. Domestic violence book fair, women's leadership book fair, Black Business Month book fair. Like, I just come up with reasons to do book fairs. And if you can get the space and do it, do it. Could put together conferences. I have literally put together conferences just to sell books. You can create your own signings. We already talked about that. You can create other events around the books. You can get the community involved and stuff. You can even start a book club or host somebody else's book club. Okay. Now, a lot of times people with books don't want to speak if they can't sell something, but I found that doing Rotary Club and other chamber events where you can't sell is an excellent way to get exposure, and it gives you practice. Okay. You can also participate in trade shows. You can get a booth at just about any fair. Even some farmers markets will let you do that. And then you can look for book clubs. There are a lot of book clubs out there. They're voracious readers, and they're always looking for something to read about. Okay. All right. I think that's all I have for you today. I know this class was short and sweet today. It's because I'm at the conference in San Antonio and we have quite the busy schedule. And so I hope that you've enjoyed these tips to help you make your first $1,000 writing a book. If you're listening to me as part of the Ladies of Wealth podcast, I hope you will join us live Thursday nights. Today was our 7-figure business building. And next week will be our real estate. Every third Thursday is real estate. Every fourth Thursday is empowered entrepreneur. And every first Thursday is our fireside chat, where I answer your questions with style and grace. All right, y'all. Wow. Look at that. We actually got one episode recorded in 25 minutes, which is the goal. I don't think I've ever met it yet, but we did today. Y'all take care and be blessed. And I'll see y'all next week.